Ew, I'm tits. Tits.
Hey everyone, I'm Areolas.
And we're covering Cashback today. Lorenzo, what's your first exposure to Cashback?
I remember watching this years ago. Uh, Probably for not the reasons you should be watching it. I was more watching it for the naked ladies and the
What
parts where you're watching the naked ladies. But it's
would be a
actually,
normal reason for
yeah.
watching this movie?
I probably saw it at Blockbuster or something, and the cover caught my eye. If anyone
Uh,
sees the cover, it's you know, a chick
it's
topless.
it's pretty strange. Like I the cover, looking at the poster cover, yeah, it looks pretty eye catching. You got
Mm-hmm.
you got to be eye catching. So my first exposure is when you first told me about this movie, and I was like, I'll watch it, and then uh I'll definitely get more in depth. But my overall impressions of it are pretty wow. This is the meaning of life. Yeah,
Well, it touches a lot on art and beauty, and I imagine you, as an artist, uh, could appreciate it more. What
yeah,
the subjects that it brings upon you, other than me just staring at a lot of tits and ass and
yeah.
everything else.
What's fun? Let's just jump right into it. So, okay, first, oh, do you remember the guy's name? What was the
Uh,
guy's name?
I believe it's Ben.
Ben. Ben.
Yeah, his
Ben.
name is Ben, and he has right at the very beginning, his chick breaks up with him. Uh,
Yeah, breaks up with him, and so he's like, "Oh man, I can't sleep. I better get a job so I don't have to sleep and think about her." And then, like, he now has a job that he passes the time. Like, I do like the narration a lot. Like the narration where it says that, um, oh yeah, everyone has their own like art to counting down the time until their shift is over. And I thought that was like pretty like yeah, that's pretty on point. When I worked
yeah,
at fast food, I found a great time a great way to make the time pass. Just do everything in increments of like 2 hours. Like, oh, it's beginning of hour one, end of hour two, time for a break, and then that would get me through 8 hours.
no, this definitely hit me in that retail spot too, because I've worked retail, and literally I'd see cashiers do what that girl was doing and cover the clock or their watch with like a piece of paper or something, because you look at the time and it's like it moves shorter. But it's like everyone's coping with time in their own way, like you said.
Yeah,
He's wanting time to move quicker,
yeah,
so he can not deal with the breakup, but he's cursed to have it move slower or even stop. And then everyone
yeah,
else, yeah, the chick that you meet in the store, the cashier that he like gets to know, just doesn't look at time, ignores it, while the other guys just joke around and do all this wacky gay shit or something to make the time pass quicker
it
too.
is so funny. It's so funny seeing the types of people at this work. So like, I like the perspective of like it's Ben's first impressions of like the manager and of like his coworkers at his job, and like not much information is given on like the manager specifically. He has piqued my interest because he's like, yeah, well, here's a beating, and also I'm doing great, happy, fabulous, voice. He's like really happy, and he's like, oh yeah, I gotta go to do time, and then he like leaves or whatever. And so he's like, okay, so this is the intimidating manager man. Like you gotta listen to what type of guy is this dude, and the movie goes into it, which I appreciate.
It's weird. He's and I've had that too at a point in my job where it's a manager that's trying to like be cool with y'all, like be friendly, but then he's like older and trying to be hip, but like by inviting them out or this and that. And then he's just slapping Ben when he's not listening, or grabbing that chick or tapping that chick on the ass when she's, oh, don't worry about running late, and it's just like,
Oh, I felt so disgusted looking at them. Like, does that chick like that chick can't be wanting that. Like, it just he's just like imposing himself onto people and like touching people without their consent. And I particularly have an issue because if I got touched without me wanting it, I'd kind of freak out about it, honestly. I just don't like being touched by people that much unless I like know them. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
especially in a work setting, like oh my goodness. This poor lady.
And
She's just getting her
she
ass
deals with
groped.
it. She deals with it though, because
Yeah.
I mean, she's running late, so it's just like, all right, I guess what would you call it? Like quid pro quo. Like, I'm late. Better not make it happen again, and a little slap on the ass, and all right, we're
It's
friendly again.
like at least I'm not being fired right now. So I'll forget it. I'll forget about it.
And
And
the whole title of the movie Cashback comes from the whole idea that he's giving his 8 hours of time where he's not sleeping to for them to give him money because he's kind of low on money.
yeah.
Hence the term cash back. I give you something in return, you give me cash.
Oh, I was wondering what the title came from. So that's good to know. Um
Yeah.
the manager man, I find it really fun that just like progressively throughout the movie like he's just like okay, I'm going to put together these events that the coworkers probably don't like want to go, but like there's like this soccer night, there's like party, and it's like sure, I guess we'll go because our jobs depend on it, but like we don't necessarily want to go. And I just was like looking at the scenes where they're forced to do social engagements, and I'm like, man, I would suffer if I was forced to have a social engagement
And
with my coworkers.
what's unfortunate about, well, I'm not unfortunate, but it seems like these workers don't have really anything going on outside of like work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like work is just they've sort of adapted to where their life, like work is their life, and not even work, just socially uh you know being with those people at work, that they're only friends because they have something in common, I guess,
Yeah.
is at that job,
Yeah, it's like work friends versus friend friends. So
mhm,
like
mhm.
so I do like how Ben is like, "Oh, I'm going to pay special attention to this chick and she's pretty and I'm going to like try to talk to her and such." And it's interesting like they grow closer. They talk about their dreams, and I'm like, I admire they're talking about their dreams. Like Ben wants to be an artist. She wants to go to South America and look at like the wilderness or whatever. And it's like, okay, so they have dreams, but they're stuck at this like day job. How are they going to achieve this? And so like throughout this movie, I'm just like, how will they achieve their dreams? That's what
And
I'm like intrigued by.
yeah, yeah. And there's the whole him having that outside friend who uh what's his name? I can't remember his name, but his friend, they're all just super, and that's a theme too in this, is that every guy in this movie's super horny.
Yeah.
And that's not true to real life. Like when boys are around boys, they're like, "Oh yeah, did you fucking bang that chick, mate?" or whatever the fuck. Like they're just fucking, "Oh yeah, check out the tits on her," and they're checking out the women who come in and buy the shampoo bottles that look like dildos. To this,
I really think it's just those guys. Like it's really those guys that like super horny and I'm like, you guys are going to get sued. You guys are going to get fired. This is not a good route and you shouldn't be like playing with people while like at like a freaking grocery store. Like, oh, let me put some. I thought they were like putting dildos around the place. Was it that the case?
they were they were shampoo bottles that were shaped dildo like they looked, uh
Oh,
like
and then
dildos.
And then like people like they would be like they see a chick and they'd be like,
Yeah,
what you gonna do with that,
yeah. If
right?
she's buying it or if she's buying two, they're like, hell yeah, that's a fucking horny bitch right there.
Ugh. If you're horny, just buy a dildo, not a shampoo bottle, which could open and cut you. That's not safe at all.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I think these guys are just they're not thinking with their brain. They're not thinking with their top head. They're thinking with their bottom head. It's not smart at all. But
Well,
Jesus.
in retail, I worked in the fruits and vegetables section, and literally every vegetable looks like a penis. Like if you know what I mean? Everything is
Yeah.
like cucumbers, fucking potatoes, eggplants. Everything is phallic
Nature's
shaped.
dildo.
It's like why does nature so Mother Nature's so horny that everything looks like a dildo when it grows? You
Because it
know?
needs to reproduce. Not Mother Nature needs to reproduce.
That's true. And it's trying to propaganda us into reproducing by making everything look sexual.
Yes. So like what's fun about these guys is that like I'm immediately like they're not real friends with Ben. And so when Ben's like being an artist, he's like dedicating himself into being an artist more and more. Then it's like these guys are like, oh, let's prank them. Let's do a little prank, okay? Okay, let's have it so uh we're going to call him. We're going to pretend to be an artist gallery that's interested in his work, and so he has to like put his portfolio together, do the work, and then it's just going to be us. Haha, isn't that a funny joke? And like part of me is like, that's a terrible thing to do. Why'd you do that? You're bringing his hopes up. But like
Also,
the other part of me is like, well, you're at the artist gallery now. You might as well like give your works. And so like they were supposed to make that call. Just to like their intentions were like it doesn't matter what their intentions were. They made the call and put together like a career for him. So it's just like, oh, these guys are dumb.
I don't know what the word would be. I don't know if the word is serendipitous. I forget the word for it, but it just happened to fall into place. I know going a little bit back with him being so unable to sleep and he wanted time to obviously move faster,
Yeah.
but he felt he was cursed that time was moving slower, so he started using it to his advantage and saying he was able to freeze time. So he would freeze time, look at the art around him, whether it was like you see the part where he was staring at just a bag of peas like
Yeah.
dropped on the floor, and it was like art to him, and I could see that,
I mean, it is really like
still
if
art.
if you it really depends on like what you look at. Like if you look at like a door frame, for example, as like, oh, it's just a door frame, it's just a bunch of wood, or if you like choose to think, oh, it's a door frame, it has a lot of imperfections. Let me like study each individual line. Like there's art to everything. It just like
Mhm.
it's how you look at it. And I think this movie is like really it I that's one of the lessons that I got out of the movie.
And then so he's able to, you don't know if it's really him or in the movie freezing time or whatever. So he freezes time, he's kind of undressing these chicks, and it's more so in the term of like seeing the beauty for what they are. It's not
Mm.
like in his eyes the creepy way. It's more I want to like see their beauty. I want to see, paint it, capture it, and so that's what he does with his time there is see all the art, see because I feel that too. I'm not an artist, but I feel like a woman's body is like a work of art, like you know.
Yeah, the movie really does like emphasize that. It's like
Hmm.
all the curves, the all the gentleness. It's like a man's body is just like straight down, but like a woman's body has all them curves. And also, I honestly interpret it as like he was looking at like all these women's tits and like feeling them up to just like have that mystery solved. I guess it's like, oh well, what's around me? All the possibilities are endless. I'm too stuck. I'm too scared to make a decision. How about I just freeze time and just touch these titties? All right, I know it's here. I can move on with my life. That's honestly how I interpreted that scene.
And he's also well, it does a couple of flashbacks too where he's growing up and his first look at like a woman naked was like a Swedish girl that his parents took in, and her body was just like damn, like fucking
Thick. She was
yeah,
thick.
like a Greek goddess thick ass body.
Yeah.
And then he it to see that as like your first as a child, that's your first like naked body. You're gonna be like, holy shit, like, well, there's a couple ways you could look at that. I mean, you could just be horny as fuck for it, or yeah, it's a work of art. Like, I'm gonna hold that as the bar of fucking beauty,
Yeah.
in
It's
all
it's
its glory.
it's quite remarkable. So I do like I really do like how Ben uses like all of his like time to appreciate life and is like, I've been living life in between all the still moments for like years, and it's just like in the moments, like living in the moments, because I feel like it's a common human thing to want to live in that moment that you're experiencing at the moment forever. But Ben literally does it, and he's like, I'd rather just experience it fully now than like just be stuck in it for like a year and a half, not being able to like change anything because I froze time. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It was like a nice perspective.
And then he's got his buddy who, like, he was telling a story about how he would pay a girl that was a neighbor across the street, like 20 pounds or however much that is, and she would just show her his pussy, or show him her pussy, and everyone started coming and just like paying her in the garage, and she would just like show them her pussy,
I
like, and she was
mean,
just
it's
making
a
money off
service.
of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I don't blame her at all. It's a service that's wanted, and
There's different demands. This movie was also, it's like, just do whatever. Just follow your dream. There's different demands for everything. And I think my pizza's here. I could hear it in the car, the pizza. Um,
hell
well, it
yeah.
hasn't knocked yet. So, anyway, cashback. There is no pizza. There's no pizza in cashback.
No, there's not. And then we get to the point where the boss wants everyone to go play a soccer game and together.
Oh man, he gets absolutely wrecked in the nose. Blood coming out of his nose. He's holding his nose. He's like, my nose.
His
Ah, it's
neck,
broken.
his
And
fucking neck.
his neck. And what's insane is he goes back to work and he's injured. And then that's the moment I'm like, oh, my perspective on this guy has broken, because I thought he was cool, but he's actually not cool. He's not taking care of himself at all. He's literally still working when he should be in the hospital. He's like, oh, let's have a party, and he's like stressing himself so thin. Oh man, it's
And
quite
yeah,
wild.
he decides to have a birthday party.
Oh man.
And he has Ben, of all people, to hire a stripper.
And it's like, if he doesn't want to do it, so there's like some weird shady stuff that happens. So we have to go through some back doors. I have to go to some very specific stripper place. Oh, my pizza's knocking. My pizza's knocking. Looks like I gotta go grab the pizza
Yeah,
while I'm on
no,
air. I'll
go
go
grab it
grab the
real quick.
pizza. I'll be right back.
No,
Do.
go grab it. We could pause this. Yeah, hey Don, if you want to donate, I have at the pinned comment on top, uh you can give to Cash App and all that. It's scrolling here on the screen. You have my Cash App, my PayPal, my Venmo if you'd like to give to the show, or the Patreon if you'd like to sign up. But that's all scrolling there. Do 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 do. And hey Marco V. Hey Crispine. What's up, Crispine? Hey Isaac Walmart. Steve. But yeah, any if you want to give to the show, there's the PayPal, the Cash App, the Venmo, and until we get remonetized. And Mint got Domino's, which is pretty good. They deliver late.
I have a pizza now. I also got a pasta for myself and a salad.
Of course, you
Pasta
got
and
a salad.
yeah,
Wait, what kind of salad?
it's a chicken Caesar salad.
Dang, yeah, Caesar salad's better than a regular salad. Marco V193. Thank you, Marco V. Yes, remonetize Lorenzo. We'll try to get that back by the beginning of next year. Don't
Here's
worry,
the
I believe
pizza that I
so.
got.
Damn. What is that, pepperoni?
It's pepperoni, sausage, and bacon.
Oh, all the meats.
All the meats.
Dang.
All right.
I see. I'm trying to
Well,
remember
this
where.
we were talking about the guy. We're talking about the manager dude.
Oh yeah, so he has that party, and then they get the. He asks Ben to get the stripper, and during this time, Ben asks, or no, the girl that's at the that he kind of fancies at the supermarket or grocery store,
Yeah.
asks if he'd be her date, and he agrees because he likes her, and so they both go to the party. And for whatever reason, his ex happens to be there, the one that broke up with him weeks
Yeah.
ago.
It's kind of awkward. It's a really awkward situation that they got for
Yeah,
themselves.
no, very very odd. I don't know why she would be at that party. It must be a small town or something. But so
Maybe like
she,
missing him.
yeah, she's there, and he goes to the restroom, is waiting in line because it's a long ass line. She comes out of it, and she's telling him like, "Hey, I miss you. I'm sorry, I didn't give us more of a chance." And the whole reason he like originally broke up with her was because he told her, "I don't think I can make you happy." And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you're right." But
Aw.
it's real like fucked up, because it was
Aw.
him. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
him thinking about her.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just, yeah, it's kind of devastating. I don't think they should have been together. I mean, I'm glad that they got together and then they're like, got out of that relationship, but I don't think they should be back together,
No,
personally.
but right at that moment that the girl that he fancies that's down at the bottom of the stairs looks up to the stairs looking for Ben, that girl happens to kiss him. Right at that moment, she
Wrong
sees it.
moment.
Yeah, Ben pushes her away and says, "No, like I don't want this." Turns around, he sees that girl walking off, and he stops time, goes down there, and he knows that there's no way, even telling the truth, doing whatever, that this isn't gonna look right, and he like doesn't want to lose her or whatever.
Oh, man. Like, I remember seeing this and I was like, you gotta go explain things to her. And he's kind of like mopey and whatever. He's really mopey. And I'm like, just just focus on your art. Just focus on your art, okay? But like I get it. He's devastated over this chick and he's like kind of sad and he's like, "Oh man, another breakup."
And
God
then
damn.
all his drawings are of her. Like he had been like drawing her at the grocery store, just in different moments and different poses, and she's beautiful. She really
Mhm.
is very beautiful. Which makes me think like, yeah, like I've gone to like several grocery stores, and you see just random cashiers, and you wonder like they're works of art. You know what I mean? They're like the hottest girl on earth, or I mean, it's all in your perception, but you know.
You know, I haven't really encountered that many attractive cashiers personally.
I have some nice hot Mexican women that look
Ah,
better than, yeah. I don't know if it's because you're more up north or something.
yeah,
Could
maybe.
be, could
Maybe.
be, but then I'm sure we're into different things, so that too.
That's likely.
um it's weird. A couple of like things I wanted to touch upon before we get to the end. There was this weird past story where he has a crush on a girl when he's a kid. She gets a cast on her arm, and he thinks like it's real cool, the cast she has on her arm. They're like what, 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
And then she gets the cast taken off. Everybody's making fun of her because all her hair grew really long on that one arm. And he kind of liked it, where he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry they're making fun of you. Do you want to be my girlfriend?"
Oh yeah, that
And
was so sweet. I
it,
remember that. I was like, "Oh Ben, you're such an artist.
it
You're such a sweetheart."
it's such a weird little like side story. And then she wanted to kiss him, and he was like nervous about it, like, "Oh, I'll kiss you tomorrow."
And then he never got the opportunity again.
And she moved away like to America or something. And yeah, he never got to kiss her, and he just still thinks about it, you know. And
Mhm.
I'm sure I have those memories too, where you look back at like grade school, high school, and you're like, man, like what if I had made this move with this person at the right time and all that, you
Yeah.
know?
I think about stuff too, like there's so many times where I've like missed up on opportunities because I'm like, "Oh, I can get this tomorrow." No. No.
Hmm, hmm.
No. There goes the opportunity, you know?
Yeah, where you would have regretted, you regret more not taking the chance than if you would have taken the chance and gotten rejected, or not taken the opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it haunts him. And so yeah, he's there trying to figure out how to tell this girl that he finally unfreezes time. She hates him because of what she saw, no matter the explanation, which I understand on her part,
Me too.
because it looked bad. It really did
It
look
did look
bad.
bad, and it's kind of hard to explain. Like you'd have to really trust him to be like,
Hmm.
"All right, I'll trust you," you know.
Yeah, no,
They're not like
it
that close.
no, it was the first date, basically, right?
Yeah.
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 And so this we get to that point now whenever, like you said, the people at work pranked him on his drawings, telling, "Oh, you should come. We want to feature your art." And so he goes with his portfolio to that art studio. The art studio says, "No, we never had an appointment with you." And he's like, "Oh man, fuck, never mind. I'm sorry. My friends are playing a trick on me." And they happen to see the work he has, and they're like, "Oh, do you have more of these?" And it's just that girl.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
At this moment in the movie, I'm just like smiling. I'm like, "Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's so nice. It's so he's going to live his dreams."
he,
Oh. But like
uh
he
huh,
wanted to take her to South America. And I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh man, I don't think you'll be able to get that chance."
no, because and I get it. He even tried like going and explaining it to her, and she, erupted, and he's like, you know what, like, uh, you're right. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a misunderstanding, but it's understandable. An
Mhm.
understandable misunderstanding. So
Exactly.
he does leave an invitation to her to go to his showing of his art, uh his like what do you his feature of all his art. She comes to it, and it's just all her, like
Mhm.
sketches of her, paintings of her. And she's just like, hey, no, I saw it and I was like, okay, you can look at this in two different ways. One, it's really fucking creepy that there's all these drawings of you everywhere. Or two, which is the good way, it's romantic, very romantic.
I mean, they did date before, so
Hmm.
I wouldn't find it creepy personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you could a woman could probably take that a couple of
Yeah.
ways.
Could be like, "Oh, I'm being stalked. I'm being harassed," you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you fucking get me in these poses. But she took it, like it was the most beautiful thing. He went up to her, and she's like, you don't have to say a word. I understand now. and beautiful, and he's just like, "Oh, you trust me?" Like it reminded me of Aladdin. "Do you trust me?" And he freezes time with her and takes her out to the snow.
It's so beautiful. The ending where it's like, your actions mean much more than your words could ever say. And
Hmm.
that's like that means a lot to me.
And the fact that like she realized he was sincere, like
Yeah.
because like you said, like words, he could explain everything as logically as he could have to her, with him being seen kissing his ex, but even if she were to forgive him, in the back of her head that would always be like, was that really him telling the truth or not? And this kind of sealed it, like romantically speaking. Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It like finally it put like an end to the arc, and I really like that. And I like how the movie ends on like a really high note.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and then it just shows. I don't know. I knew, I felt like you like all the art parts of it, and
Oh,
it
I
did make
enjoyed it.
yeah, it did make me appreciate art more, because it's like, yeah, you could find art in anyone, in anything, anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Hmm. I really like the he does like a lot of drawings of the old lady, but he also has like some drawings of like still life. I mean, like just kind of like stuff that he sees in the wild, which I appreciate. And also he's doing like artist tricks like that was taught in like college, like, oh, use the tip of the pencil for like it's to basically measure out the object, and then like it's kind of like a ruler. It's just like a makeshift ruler.
Hmm.
Or, like the markings are in your head and your thumb for
Hmm.
like art references and like proportions and such. So I liked that a lot. I was like, oh my goodness, that's just the little details. Mwah.
Yeah, you could tell. It wasn't just a throwaway. Like, you could tell this dude maybe studied art or learned at least how to act like he knew he was an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you give this a rating of?
I would say, as far as like a story wise, I'd say maybe a 7, because I feel like you couldn't have done with all the comedy. It was weird. Like, I get it with the wacky characters, but I feel like you could have just done the love story drama sort of, and you didn't need all this wacky comedy. I don't think it added to it. I really don't.
Yeah, I think they like I just think that this movie could have used a little bit more like I don't know. It felt good as a story. I just remember like, okay, I get the point of this movie. It's supposed to like it's a movie about appreciating art, and the end is setting up to like resolve the conflict between him and his now ex. And what's interesting is that this movie is like, oh well, it's kind of paced weird. And I remember like looking at the clock every half hour, and I'm like, oh, how long do I have left? And if I'm really like engaged in a movie, I won't really do that. I'll be like, oh, I'm engaged. Now I'm like, I feel like I got a little bit ahead of the movie, like about like 2/3 of the way in. I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to end. I just don't know how exactly it's going to end. But like, yeah, it was overall a really engaging movie. I like the titties. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I'd watch this again. Um, I give this it's like a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 7. And like I said, it's cool with the art parts, but there's parts where, of course, and I feel like it's in contrast. Like, you have the guys that only think of the women's bodies, like all horny and this and that, and then you
Yeah,
have the artist who sees, a person or a female body for what they really are, art. So I see the contrast there, but there's a lot of like little side stories, like the soccer game and other part. I don't know. There's stuff that I feel like it could have not been in there and still would have
I
been a good
enjoyed
story.
I enjoyed the soccer game a lot. The part that I enjoyed the most was seeing them half-ass it on the screen, I was like, "Oh, so this is why people, professional entertainers don't half-ass their performances on screen because it'll come off like this." Like just people just, like, running around with their hands just kind of, like, on the floor, kind of just, like, doing weird zigzag motions, kind of half committing. So, I thought that was fun.
I thought the weirdest part though was when he was frozen. He froze time during the soccer game, and he went to go get a soda, and there was someone else in the world that was unfrozen.
That explained?
You know, it wasn't, and I think the only thing that was explaining was that maybe, he could bring the girl into this world with him, but I thought that was setting up, like, a villain. I don't know, it was
I thought
weird.
so too.
Yeah,
I
because
kind of forgot about it, but yeah, that is a little bit weird.
he was in a hoodie and he, like, ran off, and it's just like, what is this supposed to, like, represent? Like,
Ish-
it was weird.
Either don't introduce it at all, or uh, do some. I don't know. Come back to it. So
Because that
otherwise,
made
this
me
movie was fun.
Yeah, that made me
Yeah,
think of, like, a horror movie aspect when that happened. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I don't remember when I heard about this. Maybe, like I said, when I was just fishing around in Blockbuster, saw a chick with her top down and was like, "Hey, let me rent this movie."
Well, that's fun. Glad you rented this movie that way. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna drop this pizza off.
All right, yeah. Come right back.
Boo-doo-boo.
Mhm. Hey everyone, who else is here? I mean, the guy in the hoodie was a fellow artist. I have no idea. It was very strange. This is Tits and Areolas, not Tits and Taters. Yes. Oh, Cardiff. How I miss you, Cardiff. I need to come back on the show. Um, yeah, this movie, I just remember seeing it at Blockbuster. Very odd movie. Very easy to masturbate to if you enjoy masturbating to just regular movies and not pornographic films. Very easy. Very, very, very easy. And let's see. Oh, let me get to this. That's what I need to get to.
Alrighty, I'm back.
All right, cool. So we got a game here that I
Ooh,
titled Artificial or AI Emotions. That's what I called it. AI
AI
Emotions.
emotions.
AI Emotions, because a couple of things. This has to do with, emotions like love and all the other basic ones. And this has to do with art.
Ooh,
And I've been seeing lately on the
all right.
Twitter that AI art is kind of a huge hot topic. So
Yeah, it is.
it is very. So this is what I did on Bing Chat GPT. I just typed in to the prompt, "Draw me what you think the emotion blank looks like," and
Ooh,
so I typed in the emotion. I'm gonna show you the picture, and you tell me what emotion you think it's representing.
all right.
We have 7 emotions here. I believe the basic emotion theory is 6 emotions, but I added a 7th one.
Okay.
So let me start. We'll start with, let's see, emotion number 1. What do you think that emotion draw me what you think the emotion blank looks like? And this is AI's representation.
It looks like its representation is anger.
Yes, exactly. I did not type anything else. I typed in, draw me what you think the emotion anger looks like, and this is the first thing that it gave me.
The death. There's just so much death. There's so much skull.
This is the
What is this puffy guy? What is
I
he?
don't know, like a Furby, but I
Yeah.
gave it no other prompts. That's exactly what I typed in. Is the first thing it gave me. So that, like, understand that theme. I'm adding nothing. I didn't add. Give me a
All right.
furry, Pixar type look.
Okay.
Very strange. Okay.
It's just what it came up with.
Okay.
All
And
right.
again, here's number 2.
Uh,
What do you
joy.
think this emotion? No.
No? Love.
Well, love. That is what I typed in. This is what AI
Okay.
thinks love is.
I guess I was looking for like the overall warm ambience of it.
I don't know why it thinks old people are the only people they could love because it just gave me a bunch of old people. But
It's long lasting love.
and then what are those in the back? Like poppy or
I think
I
they're
don't.
like I don't know, some sort of like blossom
Yeah,
flower.
there you go. Like the Chinese type blossoms.
Yeah,
That's what it gave me when I asked what love was.
that's fun.
Picture 3. What do you think its
Oh,
emotion is?
what is the sadness?
No.
Despair?
You're getting closer.
Um, loneliness.
That's pretty close. I asked it what do you think fear looks like?
Oh, fear.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting cuz again, look at the first two it gave me, which a Furby and then the old people and then this is
It
what
looks
it
pretty
thinks fear looks like.
straightforward.
Not gonna lie, this does scare me. It does look very
I mean,
fearful.
it kind of reminds me of like a whirlpool of like rocks, but also water. And it's
Y-
like it's kind of like jagged edges, like made of like a bunch of minerals. It's kind of I'm scared of what this even could be.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It does
yeah,
give me fear. It does strike fear into me, but I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? This is what AI thinks fear looks like.
it's a pit. It's a pit. It
Yeah,
looks it's like a going into a black hole.
the eye of like a tornado from the top view or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Number 4, right? Am I on 4? Yeah. What do you think this
What
emotion is?
the fuck is happening here? Disorganized. That's disorganized as shit.
You're close, actually.
Um, uh, close to disorganized.
With the dis part.
What's a feeling? Happiness, sadness, anger, fear, sad. I don't know all the feelings.
Um, let me see. From an artist point of view, what feeling do you think it gives you? Like when you
It
look at
gives me like it gives me anxiety.
it. Okay, this I typed in disgust.
Oh, disgust.
Yeah, like disgusting.
I mean, it's repulsive to look at. It's not art. It's just kind of a bunch of like paint blobs everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the wrong colors mixed together to
Yeah.
make just shit, you know?
That's just I like it. It kind of it's like a acrylic, but
It's
it's like
interesting.
paint brushes like going every other way. It's like, ugh, there's no art
Y-
theory to this.
Well, you said like it looked disorganized, you know, so
Yeah.
there's really no like it's not nice to the eye.
Yeah, I think that's what like that's a good visual representation of disgust. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I would imagine I would see if I saw this instead of feeling disgust. So,
This is what AI thinks disgust is.
yeah,
Uh very yeah, very straight again, AI trips me out. Uh Number 5. What do you think this
sadness.
exactly. That's the first picture it gave me was sadness.
I can tell by the values in the tier. First of all, it's so high contrast. She's surrounded by darkness. She must be sad. It's the tier.
Yeah, the tier sells it, but then also I didn't type in any other prompts. I just put draw me what you think the emotion sadness looks like, and this is the
It's a
first thing
sad
it gave me.
woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see sadness. That's all I see.
The women are the only ones that get sad, according to AI. So, yeah, this is our AI overruler, guys. They
Oh,
only think women get sad.
only beautiful women in monotone type black and white get sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Number
Exactly.
6.
Ooh.
What do we have? What do you think this is?
Joy.
Yeah, happiness. I'd say that's the same thing.
Happiness.
Look look at these pictures though. Like, do you see some of the faces?
They're so fucked. What is that
Yeah.
guy doing? They look so strained.
dude, like some of these
What
AI,
is that guy?
I
What
was
like the guy on the right? Oh my goodness. What is that?
it,
Hands.
the hands, dude. That's so weird, right?
Oh,
Like,
that chick's mouth is like off on that photo. They're all off.
dude, it's creepy. Like
It is so weird.
this type of happiness creeps me out because
Look,
this is
look at the. Wait, zoom into the go the one that you're hovering on. What is up with that arm situation? What is going on there?
that's like a kid on top of his shoulders or back, but it's like melted together.
I don't get it.
Dude, I don't get why AI was fine with the first few pictures, but then this is what it spit out for happiness.
Oh my
It,
goodness, it's so blended together. It's so
dude,
bad. I love
like
it.
look at that. Like,
Whoa, it looks like a hell creature spawn.
dude, yeah, exactly. It like all just like three teeth and no eye.
Ew.
And it's so I don't know. It trips me out
It
that it
looks like on first glance it looks normal, but like when you zoom in, it's like it's
oh
all so
shit.
fucked.
So fucked. No, it's very weird. But here's the last one. And again, look at this. Like this looks beautiful.
That looks
Um,
trippy.
yeah, but like, tell me what you think this emotion is.
The emotion is mind blown.
I'll say I'll take that. It's supposed to be surprise.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah,
But with
surprise.
your like your face is melting, I guess that is surprising.
This is what it gave me when I typed in draw me what you think the emotion surprise looks like.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie, this looks badass. I'm still stuck on happiness. I don't know why the fuck it did all that. Like it's so weird.
That's just a guitar. Guitar is happiness.
Oh, look
Oh,
at the fucking
beautiful.
dude playing the guitar with his like little finger nibs and his fucking
His face
deformed
that's like
face.
halfway to the side.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love
no,
this picture.
it's so weird. That's the first picture it spat out to me. All these are just the first picture.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
real
that's
weird.
pretty cool.
But yeah, that was AI or artificial emotions. I'll say that that was the game. And that was Cashback. Tits and Areolas. I want to thank everyone for listening. Mint, where can they find you? I know I got all your stuff there at the bottom.
Well, you can find me. I do daily movie reviews every day at 7 p.m. ET on youtube.com/ASCpresents. And if you want to help support the daily grindiness, you can go to my link tree, linktr.ee/titsman salad. I also do movie review requests, patreon.com/ASCpresents. That's where you can find me.
That's great. And I have That's All Funny podcast available everywhere, every day, unless I have an interview and we do an interview instead of the podcast. But you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/at Lorenzo Arreola, or check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Arreola for bonuses and early releases and other good stuff. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I want to thank the wonderful, as always, Mid Salad. Always check out all her stuff. Support her. She's the greatest. And all y'all take care. Have a great night. Good night.
Bye bye.